What's going on, Guardians? Today I have what I believe to be the best, if not one of the best, builds this season. This might just be the best Arc 3.0 build for Warlocks this season. It's that good. Like, with this build, you'll be spamming your grenades, spamming your melee, and you're going to be generating a ton of ionic traces for your teammates, so they'll be able to spam their abilities too as well. Alright, so first, getting into our subclass here. Now for the super, I chose to go with Chaos Reach because this is going to be such of an ad clearing focused build, so it would be wise to go with Chaos Reach because with Chaos Reach, you'll have a damage super so that you'll be able to take down those tankier enemies a lot easier. Okay, getting into the Rift and the Glide, these two don't really matter. You can go with whatever you want. It's really personal preference. I just chose to go with Healing Rift for extra added survivability, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, now getting into the melee, you are going to want the Ball Lightning. This is a really cool melee. So it's a ranged melee, and whenever you're amplified, it will create additional lightning strikes. Now, the amount is actually two, so when you're amplified, you're going to get the initial explosion from the melee, but you're also going to get two additional lightning strikes, and this is good for ad clearing. Now, getting into the grenade here, you're obviously going to want the storm grenade. Now, the storm grenade is the best art grenade in the game. It is absolutely amazing. So not only is it good for damage, like on a boss or something, but it's also great for ad clearing. It's really good for ad clearing, actually. Alright, so moving on to the aspects. For the first aspect, you're going to want the electrostatic mind. All this is going to do is whenever you defeat targets with arc abilities, or you kill a jolted or blinded target, it will create a ionic trace, which will give you ability energy when you pick it up. And not only that, but when you pick these traces up, you will also become amplified, and that will make all of your abilities a lot more powerful. Alright, for the second aspect here, I chose to go with Arc Soul. Arc Soul is really good now. But anyways, with Arc Soul, you cast your Rift, it will create these little Arc buddies for you and any allies that go into your Rift. And whenever you're amplified, your Arc Soul will be supercharged and it will fire very fast. And it will also do additional damage. Okay, getting into the fragments here. For the first fragment, you're going to want the Spark of Magnitude. This is really good. This is going to make our storm grenades last really long. And you're going to want to pair this with Spark of Shock. This will make all of your arc grenades jolt targets. Alright, so now you're going to want the Spark of Discharge. This will make your arc weapons create an ionic trace. Now this is going to be very important because, as you will see later on in the video, this is going to pair very good with a particular exotic we're going to be using. So you're definitely going to want that. And for the last fragment, you're going to want the Spark of Beacons. Whenever you are amplified, your arc's special weapon, Final Blows, will create a blinding explosion. This is great for ad clearing. It basically gives all of special weapons in the game that are arc blinding grenades. It's really good. Okay, now I'm getting into the weapons. There's only one weapon that you really need for this build, and that is, of course, the Delicate Tomb. Now, the thing about the Delicate Tomb is that whenever you kill targets with the Delicate Tomb, there will be a small chance to generate ionic traces. And the higher tier the enemy, so yellow bars and majors, they will generate extra traces, and they will guaranteed drop them as well. Now, whenever you pick up these traces, it will also overcharge the gun's next shot, and it will make it jolt on hit. And what jolting means is whenever you shoot a target that's jolted, it will chain nearby lightning to nearby enemies. And if you have the Callus, which I highly recommend you go out and get, because it's definitely worth getting, by the way, it's going to make it so that whenever you pick up the ionic traces from any source, it doesn't matter, it can be from Delicate Tomb or from your abilities, it will partially refill the magazine. It's very good. Now for my heavy weapon, I chose to go with the Storm Chaser, but like I said, the only weapon that really matters here is the Delicate Tomb. Now I chose to go with the Storm Chaser just for that DPS because like I said, we are going to be lacking on damage a little bit because we're going to be focusing so much on ad clearing, so I chose to go with the Storm Chaser. Now you can also go with Chain of Command. That would also be a great option because with Chain of Command, it's going to give you a little bit more uptime on your grenades and it will allow you to spam your abilities a little bit more. It's really up to you, to be honest. I just chose to go with Storm Chaser for the added damage to make up for all that last damage in this build. Alright, moving on to the armor. Okay, so for the exotic, you're gonna want the Fallen Sunstar. This is one of the best exotics in the game. It was just recently added to the game this season. But all you need to know about this exotic is that the ionic traces that you create, doesn't matter what source, all ionic traces will move very fast to you and it will also give you additional ability energy. And whenever you pick up any ionic trace, it will give your allies additional ability energy too as well. Very good exotic. And I have double fusion rifle finder on here as well as elemental ornaments so that way we'll have a ton of ammo for our delicate tomb, and our delicate tomb will also create elemental wells. Now moving on to the arms here, I have elemental ordnance, so whenever we get a kill with our grenade, it will generate a elemental well. And I'm also pairing this with impact induction, and what this does is whenever we hit a target with our melee, our ball lightning, this is why I said go with the ball lightning melee, because it's ranged, so that way you can hit targets a lot easier. But yeah, whenever you hit targets with your melee, it will generate grenade cooldown. These go hand in hand together. And I'm also pairing this with focusing strike so that whenever we hit a target with our melee, we also get some added class ability energy too. Okay, for the chest, I have fusion rifle reserve, so that way we can just carry a little bit more delicate tomb ammo. But I also have thermal shock plating for the survivability. And for the elemental well mod, you're going to want seeking wells. This is a really good elemental well mod. What this does is whenever any elemental wells are around you, they will automatically track you and nearby players, so that way you don't have to physically pick it up. It's very nice quality of life mod. Okay, moving on to the boots here. I have bountiful wells. So what bountiful wells does is it will double the amount of wells that any particular elemental well creating mod will generate. So for example, like for this build, we have elemental ornaments and elemental ordnance. So our grenade and our delicate tomb will generate elemental wells. It's just gonna double the amount of wells we create from those. And I also have fusion rifle scavenger because, like I said, we're gonna be using delicate tomb like 99% of the time when we're using this build. So having that scavenger is gonna be so nice because we're gonna always have a ton of delicate tomb ammo to use. All right, and moving on to the bond, the last part of the armor here, I chose to go with lightning strikes twice. This is a new mod that just introduced this season. It's very good. So whenever we throw our storm grenade, we will gain increased grenade recharge for a short time. Now, whenever we get kills with arc final blows, whether that be from our abilities or delicate tomb, it will extend the duration of this benefit. So essentially, as long as you keep getting kills after you throw your storm grenade, you're always going to have it available. And I paired this with bomber, and what bomber does is whenever we use our class ability, it will generate grenade energy. Now, if you want to, you can actually go double bomber and put on Font of Might for extra damage for your delicate tomb. Because with Font of Might, it will give you a damage buff whenever you pick up elemental wells. But you don't really need it, in my opinion. I just chose to go with the lightning strikes twice, so that way I can spam my abilities as much as possible. Now that's it as far as the build. For the rest of this video, it's just going to be some strike gameplay. I really hope you guys enjoy it. And if you like this build guide, please subscribe and like this video. And I'll catch you guys later.